Our next speaker is an inspiration to all of us. As a two-term mayor of Richmond, California, Gayle McLaughlin led a successful grassroots movement to liberate their city from the grip of corporate giants and wealthy special interests. Their progressive transformation returned political power to the residents and local businesses and defeated the oil giant Chevron's attempts to buy their democracy. Gayle is now running for Lieutenant Governor of California. Here is our next speaker, live stream from California, Gayle McLaughlin.
Hello, thank you so much for that wonderful introduction. And I'm just delighted to be here once again to go through the waves, the internet waves, that with the help of Uphill Media. It's exciting to be among progressives, and that's what we all need to do, come together and share with each other our values. That's what we did in Richmond. I am the two-term mayor of Richmond, but more importantly, I was elected and served as a corporate-free mayor and also as a corporate-free council member in Richmond. I served 12 and a half years in elected office and ran, all 4 of my campaigns without any corporate money. And I did this because of a wonderful organization called the Richmond Progressive Alliance, the RPA. I'm a co-founder of the RPA, and it's an organization that came together. We came together in 2003 based on our progressive values. We came together as Greens, progressive Democrats, and people with no party affiliation. We came together because we had had enough and we wanted to change things. And so we decided to run candidates for local office without any corporate money. And that was the beginning of how we made just transformational changes in Richmond. So I want to share with you that today in Richmond, after over a decade of work, we have 5 corporate-free council seats out of 7. That's a super majority of the Richmond City Council that was won without any corporate money. And it's, again, because we built an inclusive, diverse, corporate-free organization. And that's what I'm encouraging others to build throughout California. That's what my campaign is all about. My campaign for Lieutenant Governor is, in essence, an organizing campaign, really encouraging the building of progressive alliances so others can win their city councils like we have won in Richmond. And when you win in office, when you get corporate-free elected officials and you have great organizations and coalitions and incredible progressive leaders working throughout the community, you can accomplish amazing things. Let me share with you some of the things we've accomplished in Richmond. We passed a minimum wage to $15 an hour with a cost of living increase every year thereafter. We also passed the first new rent control law in California in 30 years. We also, it's just really cutting edge things that we were able to do. We got millions in extra taxes from Chevron. We limited their pollution. We reduced crime dramatically. We got a 75% reduction in homicides. We also have our citizens now, our community at large, getting their electricity from cleaner, greener, and cheaper sources of energy. And that's because we formed a community choice aggregation. We joined a program with other cities and counties. So these are some of the things that you could accomplish, and if we did it in Richmond, and let me share this, we did it in spite of the fact that we have this major oil refinery, the Chevron Richmond refinery, spending millions to try and defeat us in our elections. So we won our election seats. We also transformed the city in spite of Chevron's millions. And that's something that we believe is an inspiration and a beacon of hope for other cities, because if it can be done in Richmond with all the resistance from this major oil corporation, it could be done anywhere. So what I'm doing as part of my campaign is going city by city, up and down California, encouraging others to build progressive alliances like the RPA. And so many have emerged already, about 6 or 7 of them from San Diego all the way up the North Coast. And it's clear that people are engaged and wanting to come together, build these coalitions. And they are showing that the power of numbers, the power of people is what counts. And so I visited, 100 cities or more, just made countless presentations. And I want to share with you, I think we may have some photos that we can get up on the screen. I visited cities, and I'll just name a few. You'll see through the photos that there are so many wonderful progressives that I've had an opportunity to engage with. But there are progressives from Vallejo, Richmond, Long Beach, LA, San Francisco, Southgate, Sacramento, Davis, Ventura, San Bernardino, Davis, up and down the state. There have been such a great reception to this idea of building progressive alliances. And I've been honored to have so many wonderful endorsements. I have the endorsement of 23 local California Our Revolution groups. And I'm so proud to have that. And I thank Bernie Sanders for his great work. He came to Richmond in 2014 and endorsed me in my run that year on a local level. And so now I'm working with these groups to keep the political revolution going that Bernie started. And when we come together, when we form alliances and coalitions, that's how we're going to get our statewide issues implemented. And some of them that I'm highlighting through my campaign is single payer healthcare for all, free college for all Californians, Prop 13 reform. That's a proposition in California that has a big corporate loophole. If we close that loophole, we'll get $9 billion of extra money a year. Also a progressive millionaires tax and a statewide public bank. As well as I'm standing against the privatization of our public school system, against the privatization of our prisons. I'm standing for union organizing, for immigrant rights, and against the police brutality and discrimination we see throughout our nation. And California certainly has had its share, but we are standing together to change things. And, this is the time, it's hashtag ready for 2018. We're turning a corner. We all have to come together. And I would say that when we stand together in solidarity, we win. That is the only way we win. One person, as Bernie often said, cannot do it. It's not me, it's us. So that's what I'm sharing through my campaign. I'm spreading the message far and wide. I'm also getting a huge amount of volunteers signing up to work on my campaign. We have a goal of getting 200 Gayle for California clubs going, and we've already gotten a good start on that. Hundreds of volunteers are stepping up to the plate. So I would like to encourage people to please, if they're willing to volunteer, go to Gayle for California. That's GAYLEFOR California.org/volunteers. And you can volunteer there. And if you can give some money, as a corporate free campaign, we could use as much of these individual donations that can come in. And we know that Bernie did it, and it's happening in my campaign. We're getting just thousands and thousands of people stepping up to the plate. So go to GayleForCalifornia.org/donate, and you can play a role by making a donation. Ultimately, what we're having to do is show that there is a progressive California happening. And I can tell you it truly is. I know there's progressive states that are making progress all over the country. I'm focusing on California. I think we have a leadership role we can play. And I'm also going to be doing some uphill media progressive shows where I'll be interviewing some of the progressive groups in California, some of the progressive alliances. And this is a way that I can help spur more progressive work in Richmond. So my candidacy is, yes, I want to win because I want to keep this organizing work going. I want to make the lieutenant governor position something it's never been before, an organizing effort. And so I'm starting it now as a candidate. I'll keep doing it when I win, hopefully, with the support of the wonderful people of California. And I will be encouraging other progressives stepping up and running for office without any corporate money and stepping up to build these corporate-free coalitions. That is the central piece of how we transform our cities, our state, and our nation. So I'm just extremely proud to be here with all of you, because I know you too have the values of wanting to build this movement and keep the momentum going. So let me just end by saying, you know, the present is a time of struggle. We have to struggle. Organizing is hard work. But you know something? When we come together as sisters and brothers in solidarity, there is a great joy in that. And when we do that, and when we win in the electoral box, when we win our issues, when we win in terms of defining our own destiny, then the future is ours. So thank you all for having me, and please tune in when I do these Uphill Media Progressive California interviews. We're on our way. Thank you again.
Thank you, Gayle, and good luck on your campaign. I hope everyone feels like they're part of a movement, because we are. And when we read in the newspaper about the changes happening in the country, that is us that is causing it.